And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is our last one for the day, presenting in the men's single, all the way from the Chinese Taipei. Please give it up for Lin Gaoyuan.
And his opponent, all the way from China, let's give it up for Lin Gaoyuan!
So it's a dark arena for the Dark Knights. Lin Gaoyuan, will he shine light on this one here against Lin Gaoyuan? Massive match here. This one, I know, gets my fellow commentator very excited. They've met 7 times. Lin Gaoyuan has won 5 of those. The difference in rankings is as close as it can get. Here's a former world number 2. Lin Gaoyuan has been as high as 5. And it's the final place up for grabs in the quarterfinals. And the reward for that is to play Ma Long. Sorry, there is one more place, I should say, just at the bottom there, as you can see. William Robert Prinsloo is our umpire. And Adam Bobro. This one, I was just going to say it's going to be really close, and the fans feel the same way.
Yeah, as close as can be here. It's almost 50-50 here. Ever so slightly the fan favorite, Lin Gaoyuan. Now, I'll be curious. It turns out Anders Lind, actually. I just saw a result up on screen. We'll have that shortly for you. But we'll get into the coin toss here. A lot to look forward to in the men's singles event.
Black or white?
Got it, thank you.
White it is. You're going to receive. Sir, happy with that side. Okay.
So in terms of these two, Lin Gaoyuan, the silent assassin, as smooth as can be, Coach Wei Iseki as he was known in Japan, but not originally. He's living in Elon currently and sporting a Durban hat here with the South African flag behind it. He's been working with Lin Gaoyuan for some time now. We've seen him around the world. Lin Gaoyuan's gone through a variety of coaches over the years, and he's as smooth as can be. At only 21 years old, he's brought so much hope to the island back home. Again, living in Elon, and as chill as can be. He's made his way through Isaac Kwek, the up-and-coming Singaporean. 4-2 gave him the best fight of anyone here. So, El Beali, the legend for Egypt, 4-0. After that, you saw the result as well. Just looking strong here, Lin Gaoyuan. And now, I guess, his Ruan Filus match, 4-0. He was up 3-0 once before on a WTT event, and Ruan Filus won 4 straight games to come back. The best chopper in the men's game. Lin Gaoyuan has taken a bit of a bad rap after having some really tough losses. 28 years old. It'll be interesting to see. I know I said 30 before. I guess Wang Hao had just turned 31 when he retired, the now coach for the team. But Lin Gaoyuan, getting close to that, hasn't dropped a game. Jakub Diaz, a very strong opponent in Poland. Austria's Daniel Habasson, 4-0. Lee Sang-soo, 4-0 as well. Those are 3 tough opponents. It's not an easy draw for him. Liu Hung, coach in the corner.
Yeah, I feel like Lin Gaoyuan is almost like a renewed lease in recent times.
Why do you say that?
Just a freedom, almost a freedom to the way he plays. He certainly enjoyed himself in Bangkok. He was playing some really good stuff.
And how did he end up there?
Yeah, won the men's singles, Zhang Wujin.
So doesn't leave too much to be desired there.
No, and by the way, we'll talk about Zhang Wujin in just a while as well.
Yeah, one of the players who was battling in the round of 16 WorldTableTennis.com. You can not only cast your vote there for the fan vote, but you can also check out the draw. Lin Gaoyuan, yeah, I remember that match. It was an impressive fight in Thailand.
From China is
Marathon.
level.
So here we go, a best of 7. Lin Gaoyuan will start it off with the serves in this all left-handed battle. Love all.
Yeah, you've seen that Lin Wenru has beaten Lin Gaoyuan twice before. He's actually got a pretty decent record against Chinese players. 16 wins out of 46. That's 35%. Which in the grand scheme of things is right up there. We were talking about Lim Jong-un earlier. This is even better.
I'd be really curious how many players outside of China have a better win rate against Chinese players than Lin Wenru.
You're putting that near the top, you reckon?
Yeah. Beautiful counter here, the reaction time. I've always found Lin Wenru to be so smooth in his movements. Just sort of glides around the table, short stroke there. Remember, he's got his arm more taped up than we've seen in a long time after playing Liang Jingkun and finding wrist injury and having to retire. But look how clean he is here, power where he needs it. Over the years, he's done a lot of weight training. I've had a chance to see it in person. And you can see it just for yourselves looking at his leg muscles on the screen. Even his upper body, he's just a little bit bigger. He's always been a slender guy.
3-2.
Now Lin Gaoyuan, on the other hand, his body fat percentage must be somewhere around the amount of games completed right now. No, it's obviously above 0, but he's incredibly fit and fast. For me, he's always been one of the fastest on the Chinese team. The question is, table tennis is a very mental game, and identifying tactics to shut down your opponent in the deep ends, crossing that finish line can be really challenging against some of the best in the world.
So because you asked me about who might have better, the only one I can see right now off the bat is Tomokazu Harimoto, who's just had 2 wins more. They've played exactly the same number of matches against Chinese players. And so that just gives you an idea of how good Lin Wenru is.
Right, that probably would have been my guess. I mean, Tomokazu at Chengdu got 2 wins against Chinese players. That's
which is already spectacular, right?
Yeah, 2 for 2 against Team China. Right now, 2 points, though, for Lin Wenru, down 2-5. Nice change of pace here. Lin Gaoyuan slowing it down. Lin Wenru, no stranger to speed, no question about it. Good backhand power here, keeping up with the pace and adding a little bit more to it, turning up the heat to get his 3rd point.
Yeah, he's within that striking distance, wants to keep himself around here, for now at least. This is what the fans want to see, those kind of rallies.
Way back behind the table, the counter loops here. Good coverage of the middle twice in a row, and then he goes parallel. Now he's in control. Lin Wenru moves back into the table, plays it deep into the body. The winner here has the honor of playing Ma Long in the next round. Lin Wenru beat him in their last encounter.
7-5.
Clever idea with the push, trying to touch and just get Lin Gaoyuan to turn the corner, but the table not wide enough for the silent assassin's ball. So with the 2nd towel break, 2 points between them, it's the Dark Knight in front.
Seven, 6.
Yeah, he's sticking around, isn't he? Lin Wenru not allowing Lin Gaoyuan to surge ahead.
This is his greatest weapon. The backhand over the table, the banana flick, the Chiquita that Lin Wenru brings. Lin Wenru has done this to take down a whole lot of Chinese opponents over the years. He's good in the rally too, but over the table, if you can escape his backhand, well, you've got one less thing to worry about.
Doesn't get that on, Lin Gaoyuan.
Now let's remind our audience, there's a lot of pressure here. This event is the biggest event of 2023. The most respected, coveted title, the World Championships. This is the finals, in the sense that only 128 around the world could qualify to be here. And here in the round of 16, Lin Wenru, you might wonder, as a young guy, how does he handle pressure? But at the Olympic Games, came incredibly close to beating Fan Zhendong in the semifinals, and also incredibly close with multiple bronze medal points against Dmitry Ovcharov. But to make it that far is amazing. At his age, that's handling some serious pressure. The best in the world at the Olympic Games. Ball coming to a rest there. Ball kid taking care of business, huh? Oh, the table.
There's a panel that's just fallen, so they're just going to put that under for now.
There it is. Like a half moon there. The skies are beautiful in Durban at night. We're right on the coast.
Yeah, the weather's, it's chilly, but I think it's very pleasant.
Beautiful to wake up to every afternoon. I'm a night owl. And now
this is your witching hour. This is perfect for you now, this timing.
Oh yeah, I'm hitting my peak. Speaking of peak,
yeah.
Lin Gaoyuan serving against 3 game points.
He's taken the first game. Lin Gaoyuan, we saw this earlier. Wang Wenyu lost the first game. Lin Wenru, 11-7. So Lin Wenru, 1 up here. Now, we mentioned Zhang Wujin earlier. He has stunningly been beaten by the Dane, Anders Lind. And in some style as well, 4-1. He can't believe it. Absolutely brilliant for him.
The most exciting thing for me about this, I love Zhang Wujin. He's wonderful to watch. Anders Lind is one of the most unusual creative players in the game. Check him out on YouTube. Just type in his name and you will have entertainment galore, but hopefully he'll end up on table 1 after that victory in not too long.
So impressive there from Anders Lind, impressive here from Lin Wenru.
Second
much
game,
of that first game,
Yun to serve.
remember, Lin Gaoyuan was
Level.
leading. Just to give some context there, Adam, Anders Lind is 180 in the world.
And he's made it to the final 8 of the biggest event of the year.
Wow. And that's what Lin Wenru wants to do. By the way, he's, over the years, Lin Wenru's gone round of 128, round of 64, round of 32, and he's now round of 16. So it's just got better and better as each year goes for Lin Wenru, as each edition goes. He's playing excellently here.
When I talked to him yesterday, I ran into him. His mom is actually here watching from Elon. She came to watch. His wrist isn't fully better, but it sure looks like it to me. I mean, he's playing some incredible table tennis out here, backhand to backhand with some of the best in the world.
Have you seen any visible sign, apart from the strapping, that it's bothered him at all in so far, from whatever we've seen of him?
No. More frustration, though, in the body language. Even from a body language standpoint, he's not a very loud guy, not so expressive. His dad is a professor of chill. Literally, his dad teaches a course on leisure at the university in Elon.
Remembering that the last 3 matches between them have gone Lin Gaoyuan's way, albeit 2 of them were 4 years ago.
Three.
Good spin there from the wide stance, Lin Gaoyuan. 3 points apiece here, split at the first towel break. I think one area where the wrist, obviously the Chiquita needs so much wrist, but serve. I think Lin Wenru uses a lot of bottle challenge serves, meaning serving it right down the line to the backhand of a right-handed player, but he's not dealing with a right-handed player out here, so that serve is not going to come out quite as often. If at all, actually.
Nice to see
4-3.
2 left-handers in this round of 16.
Three, 5.
Again, we will see if there's the usual Chinese reaction to going a game down. Still pretty close, this one.
Back edge of the table here.
6.
And Gaoyuan a little bit of fortune as it sneaks past Lin Wenru. From 3-3, 3 points in a row for Lin Gaoyuan.
Seven, 3.
Yep, 3 points now. 4 points, I should say. Surge, he's starting to surge ahead.
I wonder in that last ball how much of it is we see the balance here. 6 of the last 8 for Lin Gaoyuan. The second to last point was the first time I saw anything where I thought maybe Lin Wenru was a little uncomfortable in the wrist. Didn't move his feet really, but here he took his chances a bit better and wins the point.
I was talking to the Portuguese team doctor on the way to when I first arrived here in Durban, in the same bus together from the airport, and it was just fascinating for me to talk about what these players go through in terms of stress on the body, that the kind of stuff that they do is unnatural, she's saying, so unnatural. Shoulders, wrists, back, arms, and the legs. It takes a toll, doesn't it, on the surfaces?
Well, one thing they do actually in terms of the proper flooring, for any major event, they put a layer underneath. That's why this stomp sounds almost like it's a hollow floor, because it is. They do that to protect the knees of the players. If you're playing at a local tournament, maybe even a national championships, and you're not in the world's best, strongest nations, you might not have access to such a setup that really does protect your knees. But out here, at an event like this, the players have the best to work with.
Just going along there.
6.
Yeah, it's a tremendous strain that these guys go through. And Neha Agarwal Sharma, one of our commentators, says something she regularly hears, and I'm sure, Adam, you must have heard it over the years, is how people probably almost negate the athleticism of table tennis, which is quite a misguided thought, isn't it? I don't know whether you've heard that from people.
Oh, of course, yeah. And that's okay. We can talk about that a lot in the next game, maybe. 4 game points here for the Dark Knight.
7.
Saves
10.
one here, Lin Wenru.
That 7-10.
So he converts his second game point, Lin Gaoyuan. Feel a whole lot better after that.
I thought Lin Gaoyuan did everything right in that last rally, but still Lin Gaoyuan was able to cover the forehand with the backhand side.
So 11-7, Lin Gaoyuan wins it. It's 1-1 now.
Level.
Big top edge there for Lin Gaoyuan.
So first point of the game to Lin Gaoyuan. In terms of athleticism, this could be a road trip talk. I think you can be of different physiques, different levels of athleticism, and still be quite good at table tennis. That's one of the reasons I think it does get that rap, but most of it is just lack of exposure. If you're watching the World Championships right now, there's no question about the footwork, the speed, the strength and athleticism that's needed out here. Upper bodies can be limber. It's about speed, but the legs of these players. And again, these are two of the thinner players.
Yeah.
And still, if you get a close-up look, I mean,
the calves, man. Some of those calves.
Lin Gaoyuan when he when he's standing. So Lin Gaoyuan here.
Thank you very much, guys.
One of the thinner guys. But if you look at anyone in the top 50 in the world, I mean, the physical demand, it just takes so much from the lower half of the body. Yeah. To be constantly squatting. Look at the legs. I'm staring at the muscles of Lin Gaoyuan right now, who again is one of the slimmer players on the Chinese national team. But it's not powerlifting. You don't want to be bulky for this sport. Although you might not know that looking at Fang Zhendong and Liang Jingquin. Yeah. Quadri Aruna, Andre Gachin. I mean, the list goes on and on. Either way, a long list of skill sets can be handy out here, and the more you have, the better your chances. Lin Gaoyuan up by 1 point on the receive.
On that banana flick there from Lin Gaoyuan.
His bread and butter, the banana.
Sounds like a great sandwich.
I was just thinking about it right now. Coach Wei watching on at first towel break here. Lin Gaoyuan in a good position. His service came again strong, but against left-handers, I'd be curious to see his percentages.
Awesome point there. Lin Gaoyuan, and a shot from him as well.
From down low at that camera angle, we could see how fast the ball was whizzing around, the speed in this rally. Again, if you ever want to question for a moment the speed, just keep your eyes on one player through a rally and see how much rest time they have between shots. It's pretty mind-blowing. 1 point game now.
Red. 4-3.
What a counter there. The power from Lin Gaoyuan, and Lin Gaoyuan just repulses it back with interest.
The way he starts this point, the silent assassin, surely he's in control. No panic, not even a defensive shot, but a ripping backhand to get the point. That's to tie it up here. the last two, but I think the scar power on that last one might leave a lasting impression on Lin Wenru.
Some great rallies, really, these two at the moment. Absorbing stuff.
Yeah, they're both refusing to get too far behind the table. Both speedy players, both strong in the backhand game.
Oh, you feel for Lin Wenru once again. Table tennis of the highest quality.
Very similar to the point that was dished out before. Recovers the net there. One ripping backhand, but the racket high. Lin Gaoyuan stays on top of the bounce. Cool rhythm.
Don't see that too often. Lin Wenru. An ace there, 6-5, just in front.
Just cleaning off the racket again to make sure that there's no dust on it. It's nice, dry, and ready for spin.
He's really letting rip, isn't he? Lin Wenru, but Lin Gaoyuan equal to the task.
It's always cool to see these points in replay from different camera angles because Lin Wenru being persistent there with the cross-court shot, maybe hoping to fool Lin Gaoyuan, who might have been moving to cover the forehand line. But he's not moving early, he's not anticipating. This is the advantage of being fast. This is why it's important to be fit and fast for table tennis. Because you don't have to anticipate. You can move quickly in response. Reaction time a must.
Took that down the line. Nicely done by Lin Wenru.
Always just resetting those feet, moving back into the table after he was pushed back in the open forehand rally.
There's that strapping we've been talking about.
That strapping young lad named Lin Wenru. Look at me in my British English.
7-7.
That's tight again, isn't it?
It sure is. You know, Lin Gaoyuan, well, he's had his fair share of dark nights, tough losses, if you will. He also had an incredible comeback against Dmitry Ovtcharov, saving multiple match points. So he's capable. He's had some big wins in recent history.
Do you feel that some of that rap he's got is just pretty unfair?
7-7.
It's just that high expectations.
I think it's earned. I mean, yeah, the results are there, but it's both, right? To make it as far as he has, to represent Team China,
Exactly.
They don't have a shortage of options.
But it's also the level of expectation one has on a Chinese player, I think.
Yes. Fair is this is another conversation for a road trip. What is fair? You
Relatively speaking, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no way, right? If you leave China and you play for Luxembourg, you can play the rest of your life as long as you want and be the #1 player. If you're amazing, like Ni Xiaolian. I guess, right, I'm just saying that it's not to take anything away. Feng Tianwei was an amazing player and became Athlete of the Year in Singapore and a hero for Singapore. But she was ignored in China. She was number 15 on the national team.
Which is why she made the move.
Yes. So expectations are different. Lin Gaoyuan representing the proudest nation in table tennis history.
8-9.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't even half the achievements he has anywhere else in the world, he'd be lauded and be on a pedestal the whole time.
Yeah, he'd be #1 for almost every national team in the world currently if he just played somewhere else. Now, the honor, this is a pretty amazing experience to be here wearing the Chinese flag, and he's done quite well throughout his career, just had some tough times.
8-9.
I actually think it'd be pretty fascinating. I've been asking a lot of people who they think will take the title. No one said Lin Gaoyuan.
So the Dark Knight is a dark horse?
Well, that's actually where it comes from. That's where the nickname comes from. On a chessboard, what animal is the knight? Also, he likes Marvel, so there you go. I guess that's more of a DC thing. Anyway.
It is.
I've exposed myself. 9-9, the business end of game number 3. Could be crucial here. Lin Wenru with the serves, the last 2-serve combination in this game.
And the edge is just in front here. Lin Gaoyuan with a game point in hand. So in this very comprehensive survey that you did, was it mainly Fan and Ma Long? Were there any other dark horses?
Yeah,
Wang Chuqin.
That's
okay.
right.
No Liang Jingkuns?
Nope, no one said him.
So basically only those 3.
Those are the 3.
Oh, played it down the line beautifully. What a way to win that 3rd game.
This is going to bring up a lot of interesting potential changes in terms of Lin Wenru. He's been drilling on that backhand corner. He's gone there many times throughout. This was a very impressive block from Lin Gaoyuan, and it secures him that 2-1 lead.
11-9, game 3. Adam, I know we're only 3 games into this, but some reason I find this the most riveting of all the fantastic matches we've had tonight.
They are both so smooth.
Fourth game, Yun to serve, level.
And the speed of both of these left-handers, how good they are in the open rally. We're not having quick, short rallies.
Well, thanks, guys. It's great when our point is highlighted on the screen. Well, that one was quite the opposite.
Let. 1 love. Let. 1 love.
Yeah, wonderfully done there by Lin Gaoyuan.
Nice change of pace here from Lin Wenru, slowing it down, spinning it up there in the middle of a fast rally. You know, Lin Wenru and Tomokazu Harimoto might be the leaders in terms of matches and records against Chinese opponents. It'd be fun to sort of guess at who some of the others are.
Cho Seung-min, I think, would be another one.
Cho Seung-min?
All right, I'll check.
That was quite a surprise there. Don't get me wrong, he's an amazing player.
Your look of incredulity was interesting.
I just had to imagine you must have meant somebody else. Either way, I bring it up because Lin Wenru came out of nowhere beating some of the top players in the world, namely Fan Zhendong and Ma Long. back-to-back to take the T2 title, 2019.
2-4.
48%.
Cho Sung-min,
Yeah.
what's he played? 5 matches?
Ye of little faith. That's
How-
21. Still.
What? Cho Sung-min?
Yeah. He's doubting me so much, he's actually going to look at my little spreadsheet here.
Run around out here,
Yeah.
corner to corner, the
Chasing
footwork
it.
tested. Lin Gaoyuan fighting to come back in.
Just waiting for my apology for shortly.
I'm wondering if that includes youth.
He just can't take it. Come on, Adam.
I want to know more. I'm
3-4.
gonna get the list of
I
every
want you
match.
to get the list.
I want to apologize to Cho Sung-min, my goodness.
Oh man, that's got to be right up there today.
3.
That rally.
If it's not point of the day, I don't know what is, because the athleticism in this, the sheer firepower, the fearlessness, they just went all over. If you could just tie a string to the back of that ball, this table would have been absolutely tied up.
He was taking the pace off consistently, wasn't he? Shallower shots from Lin Gaoyuan.
This is where the weight room comes out to play. It's exhausting hitting the shots, recovering to do it again and again. The backhands are tiring, but the forehands, eventually he has to go to the shorter side to finish. But he has the power to do it. He's bigger, he's stronger.
Again, it's just a marvel to watch at this.
I love it. For the dark night out here, the DC man, watch him go. They're taking turns. The blocking, the fanning touch shots here, the control from Lin Ru. He was able to keep about 4 balls on the table in ways that looked very unlikely. Stamina. Zhuang Zhiyuan, teammate of Lin Ru. A man with a lot of stamina.
Well, you were calling about 3 points ago. That was maybe the point of the day. How about the Ma Long one earlier?
Which one?
Against
the
Lim
lob?
Jong-hoon, yeah.
That's an easy one. It's an easy one to pick, and it might be. Lobs, counterattacks are always fun. Timeout here, the conversation on Lin Ru's side. He had the lead, still does. 2 points taken out of him.
相信自己的这个长处啊，去定力要更小一点，发球也是勾手发球，各位发球，经常可以发球。今天这下面这接发球是小球，但可能还是会发的。专不专业可以发，人家变化多一点，那篮下实现很好，但是这个他就打他自己的定力，把球打的。 不着急，其实并不是质量着急，盯落点，很好，时间慢慢保持过，这个接发球就不烂，看，像是到底在落点，这是一个正常的发现，对啊，
Time.
坚决一点，
Let's see if he comes back to the table decisive. Sounded like some words of encouragement there to take his chances, be decisive.
That's what you managed to.
I caught almost nothing but the last phrase, and my comprehension's terrible. So, could very well be wrong. By the way, when I said an easy one, I mean it's an easy fan favorite. It wasn't an easy point for Ma Long to win. It's just the type of point that very well could end up being point of the day. It's a classic.
Is that just about edge, this one here?
It depends who you ask. I think it's going to be more popular with people that are newer to table tennis.
The purists would prefer this one, right?
I think from a skill standpoint, it's just, it really demonstrates the level throughout. That's the difference. Ma Long's point was Forrest Gump. This last one was Shawshank Redemption. Commercially, Forrest Gump did way better. Anyway, here we go.
8-5.
3 points clear, Lin Wenru. Timeout perhaps having its effect.
2 quick points right out of it. Sometimes it does take that little extra bit of energy and confidence earlier on the shot to finish the point. Started to turn the corner. Lin Gaoyuan's smart to play it to the wide forehand. It's like he knew that he was going to be playing scissors and brought out the rock. That shift, the pivot, and then he has to just, not backpedal, he doesn't have time, but just reach out of his comfort zone to try and counter back.
We know the Chinese players, how good they are towards the end of a game when it really matters.
Well, let's get specific here. Lin Gaoyuan has been tested in some really tough times. But yes, he's very capable of this here.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the other way around for him sometimes when he's in the lead and then...
Many times. Timo Boll could tell you about it. Shushin could tell you about it. Tomokazu Harimoto could tell you about it. Probably a few others that I'm forgetting, but those are the most starring ones.
Well, he must be glad he's not facing Cho Seung-min, eh?
Yeah, probably. Oh, man.
Won twice in Bangkok as well recently, Cho Seung-min. Just thought I'd put that in.
Cool. You could give me a bag of Cho Seung-min to go, that'd be great.
10-8.
And look, he was trailing. He was 5-8. That's 5 in a row for Lin Gaoyuan. Excellent work. This to make it 3-1. Saves one, Lin Wenru. It's a steep climb in your 3-1. Win this 2-all.
But only 1 point away here. And a timeout now on Lin Gaoyuan's side. Let us see, shall we?
好啊，也是，而且基本上短的时候身体就上去。我有好基友下，有好基友就跟他多听多好。我不要求我打死你，对吧？但是呢，哎，我能通过反复一点施压，明白吗？一点施压，他根本就打不着。你看他跟你打的关系是多火，你接过去他根本就打不着。所以说，哎，你稍微发球稍微有一点，你要不敢发就远，哎你 C 这个中间，对吧？然后呢，小旋转支着呢，还侧身分位这边发压着正的，就全让你的球。这个时候一定要心定，敢去多打，明白吗？多打多抻呢。这个时候千万就不要想我100多分、200多分，打的越多他越慌。你就算给他半个，他都现在未必能打着，明白吗？刚才不是挺好的，接一个他弄一个，他着急，他也想得分，对吧？所以说这个时候心定慢，啊，一板打，慢一板输，一点的。其实的就去攻击他就行，不用说100非得是，或者说我非得要怎么着，哎，就跟他多打嘛，好吧
So back from his timeout, Lin Gaoyuan with a second game point here and a second serve to get that 3-1 lead that he would love to have.
Anything that you managed to get out of that? It wasn't easy, I know.
It sounded like conversation about the spin game. Maybe a bit more spin.
This does its job, that timeout. Lin Gaoyuan has taken the 4th game. He wins it 11-9, and he's now 3-1 up, 1 game away from place in the quarterfinals.
看准了变，看不准，我就那么扛住你，稍微大点扛住他，他一变线，我这么带两个，他一侧身就是这条线，我往里挡你就完了嘛，所有的线路都是死的，根本就不能慌，对不对？啊
Well, let's tell you what else has been going on. Sun Ying-sha in action with Wang Manyu, and they have done the business here. Straight games win over Zheng and Li. That's in the semi-finals. And she marches on, Sun Ying-sha. She really is fantastic. And there is your semi-final lineup. China, Korea, China, Japan. I imagine Sun Ying-sha is in 3 finals. That could still happen.
Well, she is world #1 in 3 different disciplines. So we shall see. Lots to look forward to here. The Miyus of Japan, Kihara and Nagasaki, but it's Lin Gaoyuan up 3-1.
Love 1.
Nicely done on the serve there from Lin Gaoyuan. Some excellent serves here.
That was the first point in some time. He might have just been caught in 2 minds. That was the first point in some time where I felt like, was the wrist an issue for Lin Wenru?
Tell you what, both these players slowing down, quicking it up, brilliant to watch.
This is amazing for me, the versatility that we see out here. Look at the cover, the side spin. Lin Gaoyuan, when do you ever see him play a touch shot like that? From behind the table, near the ground, side and underspin. He floats it back up. I would have been on my feet too. 6 of the last 8 for the Dark Knight.
Oh, that looked like it almost might just creep in. Lin Gaoyuan now 3 ahead. Remember, Lin today lost in the men's doubles quarterfinal with his fellow Lin Shidong, losing to Fan Dongdong and Wang Chuqin 3-1. And this is all he's got left now. Same with Lin Wenru out the mixed doubles.
When I brought up earlier that very few people, that nobody guessed, out of all the people I've asked, that Lin Gaoyuan would be the world champion. I think he's underestimated.
But that might possibly come with the reputation that's preceded him, right?
Partially, yeah, but think about how he's done internally. It's the reason we see him now. In 2017, he won the Marvelous 12, and he earned himself a spot in a way that was pretty major. That said, in the next round, should he win here, he would play Ma Long, and he's never beaten Ma Long. Not internationally. He's 0-5. 12 of the last 16, though, he's won.
Yeah, I remember you and I talking in the Singapore Smash about his record against Chinese players, and it's actually pretty good. Better than some of the other names around.
And that happens quite often, that players know how to play their teammates quite well, have a good internal record.
That lead cut to 3 points. But quite often what you said to me is it's how they're pegged against the international players.
Well, that's most important. If you're chosen for the Olympic Games, for Team China, bring it home to China. Right? If you've made it to the final and it's China in the final, you've done your job. Made the country proud. At that point, it's just personal.
Yeah, tough for Lin Gaoyuan these days with the Ma Longs, Fan Zhongdongs and Wang Chuqins around. Shake of the head there.
Well, Lin Wenru's coming back. He's within 2 now in a must-win situation. No shortage of scars in the history for Lin Gaoyuan. No timeouts left.
Adam and I just had a quick moment there. I'm sure people watching this and knowing the history of Lin Gaoyuan probably having some thoughts flashing through their mind.
Getting interesting. A long way to go here, but all long journeys start with one small step. Lin Wenru with some impressive points here. Is he down 3-7? 4 in a row?
Yeah. That's going to be relief, I think, as well as joy, going 1 up here.
Bit of fuel in the tank here after serving and not getting the 3rd ball attack. He was caught in between. Good receive from Lin Gaoyuan to shut down that 3rd ball attack. Awkward.
I think there was a phone or something that went off. Silence, please, in the crowd. Hand up from Lin Wenru. Doesn't matter how those points come right now. Pressure just relieved a little.
That was a very handcuffing serve. Lin Wenru in a position where it would have felt natural to play defensively, but I think he did the right thing to try to get in aggressive. It just wasn't easy.
And now he can look at 2 match points. Lin Gaoyuan. Looking to finish this off now, Lin Gaoyuan. Which he does brilliantly. Lin Gaoyuan makes his 3rd quarterfinal in a row at the World Championships in his 4th edition. And he's done it well. This has been a really good match overall. I know the scoreline may not necessarily reflect it, Adam, but I know we've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Absolutely, it's been incredible to watch, and this really thickens the plot in a lot of ways. It would have been interesting either way in the next round. Ma Long, if he had to face Lin Wenru after being beaten in their last encounter. But Lin Gaoyuan bringing a little bit more security. In terms of their head-to-head, that was a really wonderful play to stay in there in position this last point. Take a look. Lin Wenru goes all in on backhand, tries to play cross court rather than short side, which, well, I guess you could understand if he thought he had a chance to come back to the table. But the way the feet work here, it just leaves open so much space. In theory, you'd see a hand switch from someone else, but it's a rare skill to have. Although I will say, Lin Wenru plays quite well with his right hand. I've actually played his right hand before, but Lin Gaoyuan doing well to get through and move on. So he will face Ma Long in the next round. Will it be a first for the Dark Knight? Let's hear what the Dark Knight Lin Gaoyuan has to say.
Lin, a big well done to you on an impressive win tonight. It was a tight game, as we all saw, and you had to dig really, really deep to pull through. Now, please talk us through it.
首先，非常恭喜高远成功获胜，非常精彩的一场比赛哦。能评价一下今天的表现吗？
今天首先其实双方都发挥得非常不错吧，特别在场上，其实，球路上其实也是非常的难打，自己在一上来其实在调动上还是非常的好，但是第一局还是遇到一些困难嘛，所以说，整个局面随着比赛进程自己会慢慢去调整。
Today, both of us played really well on court. I had some difficulties. I managed to find some solutions in the way, but the two of us were really motivated, especially for myself. In the first game, I did find some challenges. I struggled, but I adjusted in time. Overall, it was great.
Just simply incredible. Now, let's talk about the future. Ma Long up next tomorrow. How will you approach tomorrow?
下来将对阵马龙，会怎么准备呢？
明天可能下一场对龙哥嘛，像龙哥其实更多是向他学习，在场上更多是去展现自己，然后跟他打，其实我也没有什么太多的压力。其实对于他是我其实算一个偶像嘛，他其实做了很多事情都是我们的榜样，所以说对于我来说，明天就更多的需要展现自己，发挥出自己的水平。
Well, it's a great opportunity to play against Ma Long. Each time I play with him, it's really a lesson, because I have so much to take away from him. What is important for me is really to unleash my best potential. There's no pressure with me playing against my idol. He's really a great role model for all of us, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, many thanks for your time and really all the best for your match tomorrow.
非常谢谢高远，也祝你比赛顺利。
好 ，Thank you。
Well, interesting what he said there. The pressure isn't on him. He's absolutely right.